Whether you pronounce it Porsche or Porsche, there's no denying that the company has a long history of high-performance vehicles, all known for handling and horsepower alike. Because of this, it was only a matter of time before they tackled the electric performance market. Today is that time with the unveiling of the 2020 Porsche Taycan. But did Porsche get it right? Will the new Taycan bring something new to the table for electric cars? Or will it just be an example of a company jumping onto the electric bandwagon? I'm Julian Sepulveda, welcome to Spoilers, and enjoy the show. To keep things simple, this review is going to be split into 4 sections. 1, the look, 2, the specs, 3, technology, and 4, my overall thoughts. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let me first say I love the look of the new Taycan. It looks incredibly sleek and the white finish looks incredible. Personally, the front end makes me think of a mix between a McLaren P1 and a 2020 Supra. The rear end, however, is unmistakably a Porsche, sharing many visual cues from the recent 911s and the Carreras. Personally, I would have preferred a coupe body, but whatever. The Porsche Taycan also has a very low roofline, so you'd think that people would have a little trouble squeezing in, right?
Wrong.
Porsche knew they were going to have some trouble fitting larger people inside the car, so they decided on building little dents in the battery on the floorboard to increase legroom and called them foot garages. The wheels are probably my favorite design I've seen in a while, with the star in the middle being a different color from the walls. This looks amazing in all the photo and video I've seen. Call me a racer, but personally I'd love to see someone put an icy blue or a fiery red light behind the rim, just to give it a little bit of contrast, but that's just me. Now let's get to the rough part. The interior. Don't get me wrong, the Taycan interior looks alright, but personally it just doesn't do it for me. For one, I don't see a knob to put it in reverse or drive. As a person that loves cars, I love the feeling of a shifter knob, even in an automatic. However, many cars are going to a less obstructive dial or even a touchscreen to put the car in gear. After all, there's nothing like going to turn down your music and accidentally throwing your car in reverse on the freeway.
Yeah, I know. That's not how it works. Just laugh at the joke, please. Alright, there we go. Thank you. Alright, thank you. Appreciate it. Back to the video.
Personally, I'm not a fan of the giant grip behind the cup holders, which may or may not be a quote-unquote shifter knob of sorts. Onto the rest of the center console, I'm seeing a distinct lack of buttons anywhere. Now, I don't know what it is with car companies that think touchscreens are the future, but personally, I think there's more of a hindrance there than anything else. For example, in driver's ed, you're taught not to look at your phone, as looking away from your phone at 35 miles per hour for even 1 second means you traveled over 50 feet blind. Now that cars have touchscreens, the driver has to take his or her eyes off the road just to do something as simple as changing the music. It's not just me, it seems kind of counterintuitive, right? Call me old-fashioned, but I feel it's always better to have a knob in your hand than nothing at all.
Wait, that's not what I meant.
In the passenger side of the interior, there's an extra display to show the car speed and the performance stats, which I guess is kind of cool. Honestly, the only use I really see for this is when you're a little kid and want to pretend that you're driving, which now that I think about it actually sounds pretty cool. Another nice touch they added to stay close to the roots is the power button, which is located on the left side behind the steering wheel, right where the ignition lock on the regular Porsches are. The interior and exterior can be fully customized from Porsche. Want to have the beautiful two-tone leather finish on the seats? Done. Want to go the extra mile for Mother Nature and get seats made of fully recyclable material? Done. Want the classy look with a bunch of wood trim all over your doors? Done, done, and done. Overall, I'm kind of in the middle of whether I like it or not. So with the body out of the way, let's move on to the next section. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to go over the specs for the basic Taycan Turbo, not the S model. I put the specs of both in the comments below, so if you really want an exact lineup, just scroll down to the bottom. Now, the specs are where the Taycan really shines. The wheels are pretty average size at around 20 inches, so you can see them in all their wonderful glory.
God, I love the wheels so much.
The torque is insane at a super strong 626 pound-feet. My dad's V6 Jaguar F-Type pulls a 332 pound-feet of torque, which I can feel pull up my cheeks when I merged onto the freeway that one time. Sorry, Dad, I took your car for a spin for a couple times. Too bad you have to find out this way. The torque on this thing is almost double that, and since it's electric, that means you get all that torque at once, making 0 to 60 in a little less than 3 seconds. The horsepower is just as impressive, making around 670 horses that can reach a top speed of 162 miles per hour. And since this is an electric car, it's got a charge distance maximum of about 450 kilometers, or 279 miles for those of you that live in the best country in the world.
I'm gonna get so much hate for that.
And you can get all of that in a 30-minute charge. At least that's what I thought when I read that its 5% to 80% charging rate was, 22.5 minutes. I don't understand why they don't just go from 0 to 100%. I mean, how hard is it? And once again, back to that beautifully crafted body, it's got a drag coefficient of just 0.22. This car is insane, especially with all the other fancy jazz they added to it. The tech in this car is unreal. I don't even know what half of these words mean. It's powered by not one, but two electric motors, one powering the front wheels and one powering the back. The motors are PMSM, which means permanent magnet synchronous machine motors. According to Porsche, these are better than the asynchronous motors that other car companies use because they're strong, they're powerful, and they're small. The only downside is that they cost more, so I guess you kinda gotta take the good with the bad in this instance. It also includes an overboost mode, which lets you use every last drop. Wait, it's electric. Every last volt to take full advantage of that sweet 670 horsepower. Porsche also strategically placed the car batteries on the bottom so the car's center of gravity would be lower, increasing handling. According to Yahoo Finance, the Porsche Taycan drives and handles like a dream, with the torque hitting the ground immediately and taking off like a demon. It drives like it's glued to the track. Apparently, the people that designed the chassis made sure to spare no expense and did everything they could to increase its rigidity. Contrary to most fully electric cars, the Taycan has a 2-speed transmission to give a little more oomph to the rear wheels from a dead stop. It will also include 5 different driving modes, including normal, sport, sport plus, range, and individual, which lets you customize your own driving experience. Even though it's not a coupe, I'm very excited to see the Porsche Taycan out on the road. At least on the road in Beverly Hills. The cheapest model is around 150 grand. It's sleek, it's innovative, it's fast, and that's because it's a Porsche. I feel like this car will definitely be considered the Tesla killer. Sure, the 2020 Roadster is slightly quicker and slightly faster, but I can almost guarantee that the Porsche is going to handle better because, you know, it's a Porsche. That's kind of what they do. It's kind of their thing. And on top of that, the high trim model of the Taycan Turbo S is roughly $20,000 cheaper than the new Roadster. I think it's safe to say that as long as Porsche delivers on what we're expecting and doesn't raise the price point, they might be the company that finally beats out Tesla. It's obvious that Porsche spared no expense with the Taycan, what with the customizability, the sheer power, and pretty much everything else with the car. I think it's safe to say that they don't necessarily want it just to be their car, but they want it to be your car. Thank you so much for watching. I love making these kinds of videos. My goal for the end of the year is to reach at least 100 subscribers, so go ahead, leave a like and a sub and a comment if you enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy it, just scroll down in the comments and let me know what I can do to be better. I'm just trying to get the YouTube algorithm moving. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.